Greetings and welcome to this inaugural episode of the Universal Laboratory. Recently, I experienced a magical attack, an incident of spooky action at a distance. Now, I won't go into the specifics or the details of that attack as far as how it manifested in my reality. I don't want to enable or embolden this particular person. However, 2 days after the actual experience, I had confirmation from the suspected source, but I had in words via a Facebook posting of the admission of the attack and specifically the type of sorcery that was used, or rather the intended effect of that spooky action at a distance, to borrow a phrase of Einstein, because I don't particularly wish to inflame anyone's superstitions where this topic is concerned. But it is helpful to admit, to know that this type of activity is very real. Now, moving on from that experience, I want to address this type of intention activity among the collective. We are in the age of Aquarius. We are in the age of knowing. And as the solar flash, we get closer and closer. As the energies rise in this omniverse, people will become inheritors of their these divine gifts. And so I wish to address this type of activity because it does happen. It can be impactful depending on your level or where you're at with this type of experience. Some people, it can be very disruptive for their lives. Other people, it's just a little, like a little flea, just kind of, you notate it and move on. But as I have maintained, everything is a learning experience and everything is an opportunity for instruction or discussion, if you will. I'm not trying to posture myself as some sort of expert. So rather, this is a discussion of dealing with this type of activity, magical attacks. But the discussion I would like to have concerning this topic is in the invisible realms of nature are governed by immutable laws which cannot be violated with impunity, meaning there's always a universal reaction to this type of activity for the person who initiates that. So they will experience pushback, feedback, fallout, however you want to call it. It's nothing that I, like knowing the source of this energy, other than notating it and confirming it, I'm not doing some, black magic spell. And I want to talk about the misnomer of black magic and why that has been wrongly, that is a label that is wrongly applied. But other than just notating it and using it as a springboard for a discussion, I treat it no more differently than actual nasty comments on the videos that I make. In particular, when I post videos on BitChute, I would get very nasty ad hominem attacks, nasty attacks, and that's a type of energetic attack that you deal with depending on your level of sensitivity. So I'm treating this as no more different than that type of verbal, ad hominem attack. But the invisible realms of nature, the universal laws, are governed by everything is strictly regulated. It's all sacred geometry. It's all very scientific. But these laws of the universe cannot be violated without any kind of feedback or pushback. There is consequences for your actions, and I mean, in recent years, researchers in quantum physics and in many fields are realizing the power of consciousness and the mind, and they've been exploring the hidden side of life and nature. But few of them within the scientific community, even within the magic community, the New Age, Wicca, and all that, things like ethics and things like the Ten Commandments and rules of engagement, but ethics in particular are kind of like looked at as antiquated. Oh, that's just some sort of religious dogma, what have you. But no, there are consequences for your actions. And the more that the scientists and quantum scientists and people investigate the hidden side of life, they what needs to happen in this field is the marriage of spirituality and science. But the consideration is often overlooked as far as the moral and ethical responsibilities associated with the modern day magician, or people with their indiscriminate application of their intention and their energies. And so the tendency has been to think that in the transcendental arts, in the magical arts, uh, like the resources of the physical world, can be exploited without regard for consequences, as in the case of sorcerers of long ago, the sorcerers of Atlantis that led to that downfall because of the sorceries and the darker, lower vibration energies they were exploring. But they were blind. I mean, the principal objective is the binding of invisible energies for the advancement of personal ambitions. And so when you are someone who's aware of the energies that you can direct with your intention, and amplify it with magical ritual, with sorcerous ritual, with intention, and all of that, and you can amplify your intention and send the spooky action at a distance, and if you're doing this as a with your principal objective in the binding of the invisible energies for your own advancement, or some kind of personal ambition to attack another person. And many innocent persons have become involved in magical practices and discipline which are detrimental to their character and dangerous to their physical health. And the abuse of these powers and the forces as yet but partly understood. Most people don't really understand the fire they're playing with, but it must result in both physical and psychological tragedy. Now, I'm attempting to get this message across in a very concise form, without sort of coming across as this is a presentation of a code of rules, but it's more of an admonishment to people in general with these energies, because depending on what level you're playing with and your intent, the energies that come back are oftentimes more than the effort that you put in. They're amplified back as part of the whole universal setup with things. So it's playing with fire, it's playing with your spiritual well-being, and if you're not practicing proper astral hygiene, which could be considered a code of rules, but morals and ethics, it tends to be counterproductive in a sense. So, but I mean, but you have to understand that on any level of esoteric knowledge or intention or use or manipulation as a resource, if it's contrary to the universal plan, universal law, then we must all accept the burdens that come from the exploration of natural mysteries and dedicate our findings to the glory of God and the well-being of all humanity. And these people who are attempting to bind others with their magical arts are children of the false darkness. And I'm going to tell you, getting back to the topic of black magic, for ages man has labored under a misunderstanding, and he has called the perversion of the occult power, the hidden powers of nature, black magic. But this is an improper use of the word. Black does not mean evil. I mean, in martial arts, the highest level you can attain is black, a black belt. So in this instance, black belt is that is the rank of power, of rank of where you're acknowledged for being skilled. White, which is typically associated with good, is the lowest level. But see, black does not mean evil, and this is where we have to understand that black is the basic color of all things. It's the source of all being. All black contains all the colors, and the void, the great Shivaya void, the creatrix void of the omniverse is dark matter, is a vast void. And that's not meant to sound evil, but people tend to associate evil with black and the void. But all consciousness and light are born out of the chaotic blackness and the cosmic night. So this dark matter, this dark field, this void, the Shivaya void is the father mother of creation. Black darkness must forever shroud the workings of the infinite. And no matter how much light there is in the human soul, it is forever surrounded with the dark, with seething substances of chaos. All manifestation is a concretion, a manifestation of dark and unmeasured possibility. And these children of the dark path, who attempt to, without regard to universal law, with impunity, think that they can act without fear of consequences. They who labor in the blackness of this substance, molding it into the myriads of unseen and unmeasured forms, are not evil. They're the sons of Saturn. Satan, the black father who, like the very darkness of chaos itself, must in time swallow all of his creations, and in so doing bring them back to life again from the death that men call creation. We are all born out of this dark abyss, and we have no right to call it evil. So that in itself, the duality of consciousness, of black, evil, good and evil, that is where a lot of mishaps take place. But meaning a lot of unnecessary mental anguish comes about by attempting to label good and evil, black and white, with this energy, this universal substance of this mana, this prana, this vril. But this is like a tool. A hammer is a tool in one sense, that you could hammer nails and build something, but you could also take it and use it as a weapon. So this energy, this potential exists, and it is there to be used as a tool. But when you use it as a weapon, attempting to harm another, there are consequences, and you will suffer the consequences. And more so, you will suffer the consequences from when you have taken your intention and put it upon someone who is walking the path of the golden path. It will be visited back upon you exponentially. And it is not a form of vengeance or revenge in that sense. It is just a lesson that is a lesson where its time has come for that person to learn. So this has just been the inaugural episode of Universal Laboratory, because the universe is a laboratory for the soul. We are here to play this Earth game. This is version 4. This is the last iteration of this simulation, this version, and we're all here to learn lessons and to get as much out of our time in this Earth game version 4 as possible. So this new series is going to basically address a lot of the invisible realms of nature. Yes, your mind can cause changes in your reality. Your will, your proper directed, amplified will, can and does create changes in your reality. But it is my sincerest effort that the Ombanda New Earth Ashram promote the responsible and ethical use of these powers. Hit the subscribe button and stay tuned. We got much learning ahead in the days as we are coming up fast on the imminent solar flash, where we're all going to be in harmonic universe number 2. The game will continue at a different level, but if your vibrations are low, very low, you won't be making the jump to the new Earth. You'll be sent off to another corner of the galaxy where they're still dealing with these lower density third dimension energies with the sons of Belial, the sons of darkness. But if you are of the light, we are all children of the light. If you follow the law of one, you will be in the new Earth, and I will see you there. Stay tuned.
Namaste. Namaskaram.